So sorry, man. I just checked my phone and I realized that I have been keep missing all your recent text messages. Sorry. Yes, it has been several days that I'm keep texting you to saying that I have a model transition request to move my model from staging to production, and I'm just waiting for your approval. And by the way, please make sure after approval, you need to trigger my CICD pipelines to move my models and artifacts and everything from staging to production and deploy the solution there, okay? And check your phone later, please. Wait. Instead of manually texting me or waiting for me to trigger your pipelines, why don't you automate this with webhooks? Webhooks? Yes. What is webhooks? Well, webhooks enable you to listen to any model registry events to trigger any actions after, let's say trigger your CI/CD pipelines or send notifications on Slack to notify others about your model transition request or approval. Okay. Or anything else. Does it work in Databricks? Yes, it does. You want to check this out? Well, of course, definitely. Awesome, then let's go. Hello everyone, this is MG and welcome back to another video which we are going to discuss how we can use Webhook to listen to any model registry events in Databricks to automate triggering some actions after that model registry event. For example, we can use Webhook to trigger our CI/CD pipelines or to trigger a job in Databricks, or even notify others, let's say using Slack channel, about a model registry event or model transition request from staging to prod, or upon the movement of model from staging to prod, how we can automatically trigger some actions after without any manual process, just having an automated solution and having, of course, Webhook in place. So if you're curious to know, make sure you're tuning in and let's check it out. Let's start this session of the video with some documentation about Webhook with MLflow model registry in Azure Databricks. That can be certainly done in any cloud provider that support Databricks, but here we're using Azure Databricks to be able to enable Webhook for MLflow model registry. So the reason that I'm showing you this documentation is actually for this main part. Here is the list of all events related to model registry that you can have them as a trigger mechanism to later on send notifications or trigger your CI/CD pipelines, which we're going to actually see in this video. So as soon as, for example, there's a new version of your machine learning model is created, then that webhook will send notification, or that webhook will trigger your MLOps pipeline or a job in Databricks, or calling any HTTP URL, right? As soon as, for example, there is a model vision transited from, let's say, none to staging, or from staging to production, or from production to archive, and so many other things. For example, if someone set a tag, if someone created a registered model, so different kind of events can be enabled for Webhook. So now let's go to the video, and I'll actually add this link of documentation in the video description. And also I will add the link of this notebook that I used for enabling Webhook in the video description, so you can check this out by yourself. So now let's start to actually create this Webhook. What I did, I actually previously executed these notebooks and codes before recording this video to save the time, so I'll go through the process and explain it step by step. Here is an MG cluster, it's running. First, you need to install these packages. If it's not there, one of them is certainly Databricks Registry Webhooks. I did them all. And then here's some credentials that you need to set before creating your Webhook, because you need them. In access token, you need to put your Databricks token. If you haven't checked GitHub Actions MLOps Databricks video, I have actually explained all this process there, but very quickly saying that how you can get this token. If you go to setting, user setting, it will open a window for you, and you hit on generate token, and you can just copy and paste the token here. I removed it because that's credential. And then you put the model name. Here is the machine learning model name that you need to put the webhook to listen to any change to that machine learning model. In order to show you quickly, go to models. Here, these are some of the models that I use for MLOps Databricks video. For example, the one that I'm going to set the webhook for is Power Forecasting Model. So I copied the name, and going back to my notebook, just paste it here. That's it. So job ID. Any Databricks job has an ID, and you need to copy that job ID and paste it here. So I'm going to trigger an ID as soon as someone, let's say, change a model state from, let's say, stage into prod, to trigger a job in Databricks. And I will show you what is that job, how I created it, and how I got this ID. So let's keep this as of now. And a Slack URL, and I'm gonna get you how I got this. So I have a Slack channel that I want to send messages to say that, hey, for example, someone called MG moved the model stage from stage into production, or that request is approved and now the model is in production. So we'll see that it's gonna be appeared in Slack. So before showcasing you the Slack, how I got this URL, let me tell you what is that job. So in order to create a job and get the job ID, you need to click on workflow. You need to create a job, and here you say that, hey, I want to create a job, and this job gonna trigger this notebook. Where is that notebook? It's actually under my name. You see that I have a notebook called DevOps trigger. So I'm not going to create it again because I already did, and there you go, it's here. So as soon as you click on create, it will be appeared in your list of the jobs. And if you check the second column, the job ID is here. So I just copy that and paste it to my notebook, which is here. There you go. Now, what is this job ID? Let's check out the code inside that job. What this job or code gonna do when we trigger this using Webhook. So this is the notebook that my job ID, my job is set on it. What I am doing here, first of all, you need to install Azure DevOps. So I commented that because I'm not going to reinstall it all the time that I'm calling this job. And you need to create an access token in your Azure DevOps. How I created this access token? Well, if you go to your DevOps, go to your setting, you can generate a personal access token here. So I did this, and I copy and paste it here. That's the organization URL. This is basically start with HTTPS, and the rest of the URL you can see dash the name of your organization. For me is Mohammed G, my organization name. Okay, and that's it. You create the credentials, connections, and then you create the pipeline client. If your pipeline to trigger in Azure DevOps has some variables, you can set it there. Mine doesn't have it. And that's it. This is the way that you can run your pipeline, the CICD pipeline. You put the project name and pipeline ID. Let me show you which pipeline I'm gonna trigger. So I am in this project, MLOps OpenHack. This is a previous project I was working with. And the pipeline that I'm gonna trigger has the ID number 4. How do you get the pipeline ID? So here is a list of my pipelines. This is the CD pipeline that I want to trigger as an example, regardless of what is inside. And if you click on actually edit, let me go back. I want to show you how I grab the pipeline ID. Let me go back to the pipelines, CD. And if you click on edit, so on the top side of the URL, the place that you put the URL on your browser, if you check the URL, a part of that is pipeline ID equal to a number. Mine is 4. So I grabbed that number from the URL in my browser here, and I just pasted it here. So what we're gonna do, as soon as I trigger this code, it will trigger that CD pipeline, which I have it here. Okay, so under what circumstances I'm gonna trigger this? As soon as there's a change in model registry. So that webhook gonna trigger this code, not me. We're gonna automate this, right? So coming back to my webhook notebook, Now you know what is that job ID, how I created, how I copied that, and what does that job ID do actually, right? So you know it. Then the Slack URL. Let me show you how I created. So you know that how to create a Slack channel, right? You can just Google it. You sign in to Slack. You create a Slack workspace, and then you create a channel. So I already did this. You can see that this is my Slack workspace. I have multiple channels. One of the channels I just created, I call it MLOps. And then what you need to do, you need to add incoming webhook as an integration to this channel. How I did it, we'll just simply click on these three dots here, go to apps, and just type webhook. There you go. This is for the time you want to send data to this Slack. This is exactly what we're going to do, because we want to ship messages from Databricks Webhook to this Slack channel to say that, hey, for example, there is a model just went to production. So I clicked on add. I'm not going to add it again because I did. And then in the channel, you'll see automatically incoming webhook added. Okay. And then as soon as you create, it will give you a URL. It will show you a new window. That one part of that window, there's a webhook URL equal to something. Just copy that and paste it here. So I removed the rest because it has some specific address for the URL of my Slack channel, but for you it should look like the same. Start with hooks.slack.com services and then something unique for your webhook. That's it. So I'm importing these specific components from Databricks Registry Webhook, and then here I am creating a webhook for Slack. How? I'm saying that here's my Slack URL. Here I'm not using any secret, so I just added a random string, and then I'm creating a webhook for what? As soon as these events gonna happen. Remember I showed you the list of the events here. You can have any of them. Here in this notebook is added just as soon as, for example, there is a transition request, a model want to get to production from staging, there's a request then, or there's a new version created for my power forecasting model, and the rest. You can have even more, lots of more. Then the HTTP URL, which is here, the model name, we specified it. I want to use webhook for this one. I executed that. The results I hide it might have some credentials, and then you can just simply test this webhook. Status code 200 means successful. And this is just one webhook we created. So as soon as now I change the model, let's say state from staging to prod, it should send a message to Slack. But before testing, let's create the second webhook and then test it end to end. So the second webhook is for triggering that Azure DevOps code that we had here, right? So the code which trigger my CD pipeline, we just went through that. I want to trigger this. And this is already a job. We specify that, going to that. This is a job which run that code we just saw. So I want to trigger this code as a job using webhook. So we're going to create a job webhook. Then the job ID, we specify that. You know how I got this. The access token of that Databricks, I remove that. Then the same thing, I use the same event. So I just copy and paste. I want to trigger this job based on the same event type and model name, and that's it. The same way I checked if it's successful and the job webhook is working, and I got successful results. And if you run this, it will show you the list of the webhooks you have enabled in Databricks. So regardless of that, now I have two webhooks, one for a Slack channel to send a message, and also the second one, a job webhook to trigger Databricks job. These webhooks are now listening to any of these events. So let's try the first one. I want to move the status of a model from staging to prod, right? To see if these webhooks are working. So I go to models. So we set the webhook for this model, right? We copy and paste the name of this model. Let's say the version 1. It is in non-stage. Let's say I want to change it from non to staging, not to production, or to production, regardless, right? Let's put the one staging. I don't want to put any comments. Okay, there you go. MG requested from none to staging. Let's check the Slack. I should get the message, right? 5-6 seconds ago. Okay, There you go. MG requested model forecasting version 1 from none to staging. It just got appeared, right? And it should also trigger my CD pipeline in DevOps, right? Let's check this out. Here is the CD pipeline. There you go. Just right now, we can see that now this pipeline got triggered. So I want to cancel this. And that's it. So you just saw that with a quick model registry event in MLflow Databricks, we were able to first send a notification to a Slack channel, and second, trigger a CD or CI or anything, any pipeline in Azure DevOps, all automated. And the only thing that I did, I just requested, let's say, model transition to staging. Or you can set the webhook to just listen for the time that someone approve it and then send those messages and then trigger these CI/CD pipelines. That's all about this session. Done. Hope you liked it. MG.
Yes?
Since you're terrible in replying my messages and checking your phone, is it possible to use webhooks to notify me as soon as you put any comments on my registered machine learning models? Yes, it is, but what would be the action you want to trigger upon my comments on your registered machine learning models? Well, I trigger a pipeline to totally ignore your comments and move on with deploying my machine learning model. I'm just kidding. Actually, let's talk about this later. Okay, then see you next week, everyone.